John Connolly oonu doorano November 5 waanu taageersanahay waanu support garaynaynaa waxaanu halkan isugu dhigin aniga gabadhayda iyo dadkoo dhan waxaanu u nimid inaanu support garayno waana garab taagnahay wuxuu see you November 5
And I want to thank all of the organizers, all of the young people here, everyone who has helped play a role in putting this great event together tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Habeen Wanaxen. Doing okay? That okay? All right. Look, I still have 3 campaign events tonight, so I'm going to have to zip out here real soon. But this is what I want you to know. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Boston today is divided. We have an equity divide that leaves us as the very rich and the very poor. It's so hard to have a middle in this city, and without a middle, there are no pathways of opportunity for our poorest to rise up, and instead only the bottom can fall out. So Boston has to do better, and we have to do better by starting with great jobs or really careers for every Bostonian. And I think we need to think about the difference between a job and a career. Because right now we have single mothers out there, or we have dads out there struggling to find a job that's going to allow them to make just a little bit more money so that they could provide a little bit more for their children. And we have moms and dads out there working all day and then going to school at night and never sleeping so that they can hopefully get just a little bit better job with a little bit more income to open up a little bit more opportunity for their children in the hopes that someday their children, your children, will be able to not scrape and scrap for that job, but rather be able to have a career and go forward and fulfill that American dream. But we've got to make sure that happens, because too often it's not happening. And that's why one of my focuses of my economic development plan will be to support small business owners, women business owners of color, Somali business owners, so that we have a true entrepreneurship program and that we can support small businesses. And I want to bring an entrepreneurship center to Roxbury, where small businesses can locate for discounted rent, and that they can get the assistance they need to grow their business, to borrow money not at prohibitive rates, but rather to help that business grow. And I want to connect downtown Boston and institutional Boston with our small businesses, so that if you're running a restaurant in John Elliott Square, I want to make sure you can cater events for Northeastern, and they're going to hire you to make sure that we're creating that connection. So that if you're running a software business or an IT business, you're going to be able to service the companies downtown. I want to have a Buy Boston program that will help us grow small businesses owned by women, people of color, owned by our Somali community, so that we can create more wealth in the community and more jobs in the community. I want to be dedicated to that happening. I also want to recognize that it all comes back to schools at the end of the day. If we want to have stronger economy and better jobs, we got to have better schools. If we want to have safer streets and healthier neighborhoods, we need to have better schools. I want to be dedicated to making sure that our schools work for every child. And I want to make sure that we have real English language learning programming in our schools. I want to make sure that a Somali child can get the same education that my child can get in the Boston Public Schools. But I also want to make sure that our schools are open at night, so that we have adult education, and English as a second language class is available for all of the adults in the community. Because I hear you, Dicko, and you've told me many times, I know we've got college graduates here, we've got PhDs here, but we're not opening the doors in Boston so that you can take the jobs that are available. I want to use our schools as a place to help advance everyone and make sure all of those doors are open for everyone. But I'm not going to do this alone. I can't. I'm going to do this with you. And I'm going to make sure that we have a city government that looks like the whole city of Boston. I'm going to make sure that we have leadership that looks like the whole city of Boston. You're going to see Somali leadership in my office in City Hall. You're going to see the Somali community have strong connections to City Hall, and we're going to have Somali leadership in the Boston Public Schools as well, so that we can connect to the parents and make sure that we can access all the information, all the services, and all the opportunity in our government and in our schools, because we want Boston to be welcoming and inclusive, because we are a stronger city for our diversity. We are a stronger city for the different countries we come from, the different languages we speak, our different religions, our different cultures. Together it makes us stronger, it makes us a better city, and we want to celebrate that, be inclusive and welcoming, and quite simply, I want to work for a Boston where my children belong to you and your children belong to me, and we recognize that we never stand so strong as when we stand together. I want to make sure that we're working together, and I need you to help me get this done. So I'm going to close with this. Are we going to vote on November 5th? Are we going to vote on November 5th? Are we going to get all our friends and neighbors out to vote on November 5th? This is going to be a tight election. I need you. I know you will put me in office. I know you will. I see my friend Abdul Hussein. I didn't see him before. There he is. I was wondering where he was. All right. I need you on November 5th to get me over the finish line. I know a secret none of the other politicians in Boston know, but it's not going to be a secret after November 5th. The Somali community is going to make me mayor of Boston. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody. So we're not done yet. We got one more speaker. Please be seated for 1 minute. Here we have the councilor have to go, but one more speaker. We have Abdullah Gurhan to say a few words.